Hey, it's syndicated radio talk show host, author, singer Al Cole, welcoming you to another edition of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. I come from CBS Radio. My shows are nationally syndicated, and I've helped pave the way to treating women, guys too. Coming up, a guy who's named Ted Landkammer. Now, that's kind of like a fun name, and it's apropos to his fun book. His book is called Buffy the Butterfly. Now, if it sounds like a children's book, that's because it is. Particularly to make children laugh and have fun watching butterflies. Now, yeah, we love that on People of Distinction. And wherever you're hearing this interview of Ted, I know you'll love it too. He's going to be talking about why he wrote this book, what his special interest is in maybe butterflies and having children have fun. You know, we all want that for our children. We're good parents. Well, we want the kids to go out and play, have fun in easy and safe ways. And what is easier than safer than watching a butterfly? We love that. It brings us all back, even as adults and parents, to that fun-loving child within. And it could get you even closer to your child if you want to read this book to your child. It has wonderful pictures as well. Well, you can order this book at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And he was brought to us by a great publishing company, and that publishing company is Author Reputation Press. If you got a book you want to move, well, they're your movers. Go to authorreputationpress.com. Welcome, Ted, to People of Distinction with Al Cole. It's a pleasure to have you on today. How you doing today, Ted?
Very good. Beautiful day.
All right. It's always a beautiful day when there are butterflies around, and we're going to find out what inspired you to write this wonderful children's book, Buffy the Butterfly. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration of writing that book, Ted.
Well, in visiting my grandchildren when they were quite young, I'd say between 3 to 5, 6 years old, I noticed that when they were outside playing and running and jumping, that they'd see a butterfly and they would start laughing and pointing out the butterfly to one another, and then they'd start running after the bright-colored butterfly.
Well, look at that.
And they would laugh and run, and they'd say, "There goes another butterfly." So my inspiration was mainly those sights and my very big imagination. I've always been a bit of a thinker outside the box, and I've always been looking for new ideas, and these are about Buffy are the ideas that I started with.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, tell us about Buffy. Buffy the Butterfly, of course, the main character of your book. Tell us a little bit about Buffy.
Well, Buffy is very well illustrated in the book itself. They're just absolutely mesmerizing to see how nicely those fit in with the story. They're very colorful and it just fits well with all of the writing.
Yeah. Is there particularly something about Buffy's personality that children like?
Well, I think the facts are that Buffy was a world traveler. He thought himself as a big traveler around the world, and he always had a smile, and he was always glad to see new things, and I was particularly excited about just seeing the world and the blue sky and all of the trees. Just a very interesting butterfly.
Now look at that. A butterfly who travels all around the world. That is something. And that's, in the child's fantasy that way. We love that. On People of Distinction, you want to order that book, Buffy the Butterfly. You can order it at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And Ted is our guest here today on People of Distinction to talk about it. I'm going to make a quick reflection here, Ted. Buffy the Butterfly sounds cosmopolitan. You said that butterfly travels all around the world. And as he or she could be could be a female butterfly is traveling around, they are seeing all of humanity. Now, this links us together. All different races, all different nationalities, all different countries. As it should be. On planet Earth, we are all one as human beings, and Buffy is a great example, a great symbol of our coming together. All the children of the world coming together and loving Buffy because Buffy loves them as well. That's part of it too, isn't it, Ted? Love, isn't it?
Very, very big part of the story is love. It, in fact, is emphasized many times, and he loved the animals, he loved the people, and he just was a very, very energetic, kind of a world thinker.
Yeah. Isn't that something? And did your grandchildren help out with the putting together of Buffy himself, and the fact that Buffy goes all around the world flying and smiling? Or was that you that said, all right, I'm going to add a little character to the main character, Buffy? Who really thought of that concept of Buffy flying all around the world?
Well, I have a big imagination, and I was just thinking what would excite these small children, and that would be to give Buffy a personality and a thing that he wanted to do in his lifetime, and that was to see as many countries as he could. When he was very little, right out of the cocoon, he looked up and saw the blue sky, and he was amazed at how big the blue sky was. But he was amazed about all things that he saw in his life. He was just a very, for his age, very wise butterfly.
We like that, a wise butterfly. And there are some great illustrations in your book as well. Do you want to tell us a little bit about, it's always hard to describe pictures in any sort of radio show, but give it a try here. What are some of the pictures like in your book, Buffy the Butterfly?
Well, the pictures of the giraffes and the other animals, the monkeys and so on, is really a lot of fun for young readers, and they're brought out several times in the book, including a section in the book where we talk about Buffy being asked to join their little band, and he was encouraged to play an instrument in the band. He had a lot of fun doing that, and people would dance, and he was just a very, very happy little guy.
Yeah. Isn't that great? Do you want to give any credits to the illustrators at all, or just general ideas of how the illustrators put this together?
Yes, the illustrators were absolutely top drawer. They set the stage for Buffy as a hula boy girl. They set the stage for Buffy as sitting on the big man black top hat that looked a little bit like Abraham Lincoln's, and they just had everything there that you could immediately see what Buffy was seeing and what he was doing.
Yeah, that is so marvelous. And people, again, you want to order that book, Buffy the Butterfly, and read it to your children, and they'll take delight in a butterfly that wants to travel all around the world and does travel all around the world. You can order that book at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and we just have some minutes left in the show, and you can take it out with whatever else you want to say about Buffy the Butterfly. So go for it, Ted. Tell us a little bit more, anything else you want to say about your book.
Well, I just think the children and even adults who get a kick out of the time he was in Hawaii, Buffy was, and he did a hula, and everybody just loved it. They laughed and laughed, and even Buffy got a lot of fun out of that. And basically, he was just excited about seeing more things than the world, and he became, as I say, a world traveler.
Yeah, isn't that something? And your grandchildren, because they were the inspiration of this, I suppose this is one of their favorite books as well. Is that right?
It's absolutely correct. They read it quite often.
Well, that's beautiful. And maybe you will read it too, my listening audiences. You really like this book, Buffy the Butterfly. And I'm going to cap off the show with just saying a couple of quick things here. You know, we really have to serve our children more and more in this world. We've got to give them a chance to be happy. This is not an easy world to live in. You know, it was a lot easier maybe a few generations ago and maybe back in the 50s and all of that. But it gets hotter and hotter for us adults, you know, keeping up and working 2, 3, sometimes 4 jobs and all of that, and mothers and fathers not seeing each other as much as possible. Well, this could be a way to help bring families together again. Children's books, and especially Ted's book, Buffy the Butterfly. So think about it, people. You owe it to your children for their lives and giving them a lot of inspiration while they're young, so that when they get to be adults, well, they'll think, I have so much to be thankful for, so much to be grateful for, and I'm going to pass it down to my children as well and make this a better world for all of the children. And I know that Ted agrees, and that's why Buffy the Butterfly, that's one of the books for you, and I want you one more time to order that at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and one more time, Ted was brought to us by Author Reputation Press, one of the best in the business for moving books. If you want to move your book, well, you move it through authorreputationpress.com. Thank you so much, Ted, for being my special guest on People of Distinction today for this spotlight interview on your book, Buffy the Butterfly. We wish you all the best with your book and your life direction, so thank you so much, Ted.
And I say thank you so much, sir. Very, very nice. I appreciate all of your comments and all. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.